Our great ally, Egypt. I'm very conflicted about Egypt. I think they're kind of trying to do some good stuff. They've had, between coups that maybe did happen or didn't happen, and what's going on with the new president there. They're sort of trying to be a good country, and then they kind of go backwards a little bit. They just arrested 7 people after their first gay wedding. Let's take a look at some video. I mean, that's the sound of joy, people. Is that the sound of joy?
How was that even created?
It's a lot of tongue. That would be a good lesbian.
That's a great lesbian. That's like the call of the lesbian. I'm going to work on perfecting.
Can you do that?
I don't.
Make that sound.
That's like a Mexican thing
It's
as well.
Yeah.
God.
Right. Well, let's just assume that was a good sound. I think it was a good sound. We never get those images out of the Arab world. Something progressive happening, and joy and gay rights. So there's a lot of good there. But of course, then these 7 people get arrested. The public prosecutor's office released a statement saying that the act was humiliating, regrettable, and would anger God. Jaclyn, I know you're gonna have a field day with this God fella. They remained in custody for up to 4 days, and it's a little bit unclear what's going to happen to them now. By the way, Egypt, and they're not the only country in the Arab world that has this, they have medical tests for gay people where they try to figure out if you're gay, and I don't even want to get into how they do that, but we've talked about it before. To me, this is the type of story that everybody in our media should be talking about all the time, because when Russia had the thing in the Sochi Olympics, everyone was going crazy. And yet, for some reason, when something good starts happening in the Middle East, we don't talk about it. And we should be talking about this, shouldn't we? And bringing to light what they're doing, but also showing that there are little rays of light coming out of that place.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the video. They seemed so happy. There was nothing wrong going on in that video, but they were still charged with what? Publishing indecent images? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's not about the video that they put up. It's about the actual act that they're doing.
I mean, well, I think it's also about the video because they're representing them as a country and their people, and I think that's where, those people can't genuinely be tied to our nation and whatnot. I mean, this is a blatant example of human rights violation in so many regards. Like, I actually did look up what the medical testing.
Yeah, feel free.
And it's like making these people get on their hands and knees, pantsless, and massaging, stimulating essentially, and penetrating their anal cavities. And that sounds like a good Friday night.
That sounds pretty gay to me.
I'm sorry. That sounds really fucking gay. But I'm just saying, that it's literally in so many aspects of things. If that were to happen anywhere else, I feel like we would be talking about it. And I think it's because it's the Middle East area right now. I think there's other situations that are trumping it, and they don't want to. I don't know.
Yeah, so what do you make of that, how we pick and choose these things? So we're all outraged, and remember we were boycotting vodka, even though it turned out that Stoli vodka was made in Latvia or something, but we were boycotting the wrong vodka company because we were so upset about what they were doing to the gays. Egypt, they're doing this. Homosexuality is illegal literally in every Arab country. I think there's 10 that you can be put to death in Africa. Yeah. So why don't we get upset about this?
I think people live in a little bubble that we call America, and we don't really look at what's going on in other places. And as much as we should, people just don't think it applies to me. I live here. They're so far. For me, it doesn't apply. Yeah. For some reason, people just care less, and that's sad. But I think things like this are great because we can get discussions going and hopefully bring more attention to it.
Yeah. Why do you think there's an obvious connection to where they treat gay people well as pretty much all the places that civilized people would want to live? What's the connection between being okay with gays and then pretty much everything else being sort of okay? There seems to be a through line there.
I mean, I think it's a more libertarian mindset, a more openness, and free speech, free action is allowed, and people enjoy freedom. So, if you can live your lives and be free and be happy, it's just the place I would want to flock to, that area, as opposed to flocking to, Egypt or the Middle East where I have to wear like a full cover. I don't know. I mean, this isn't the first time this has happened either, where it's actually been, there's been a larger scale arrest. In 2001, there was 52 arrested on some luxury boat of a gay club in Egypt as well. And it's just like
Iran put 2 gay people to death last year. I mean, this is
I
happening
mean, the fact that this is still happening is something that needs to be brought up as a worldwide discussion. Like I think that those countries that do have the liberties of being who you are and being out and being gay and living your life, I think this should be an area that should be interjected on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my opinion. Maybe that's because I'm part of this community. I feel so invested into it. But then again, I feel as though if it was lesbians,
skewed opinion.
it is my
you're
skewed
gay.
opinion. It is. But I feel like if there were lesbians and they were doing this, there wouldn't even be a video because they'd be like, women exist?
Yeah.
No, they don't. What do you mean?
They'd be totally shocked.
Yeah.
So we just did a segment on immigration. Do you think we should treat gay people in other countries, in countries where it is criminalized, as refugees? If these people wanted to have refugee status, should we grant them that?
I mean, personally, I would say yes, just because I'm worried about everybody. I feel like, you know what, I feel so bad for what they have to go through, and it's not right. And I would love to help them, but I find it hard to believe that we would do that as a country when we still haven't legalized gay marriage everywhere here.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to do it, but I'm just giving you.
Utopian society. There will just be like a big Priscilla, Queen of the Desert bus coming through from all different countries, just full of like, worldwide queens.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. Sounds like a documentary I want to make.